car, get a truck, and an SUV. Get a car, get a truck, and an SUV. Get a car, get a truck, and an SUV. Chipmunk Motors of Maui.
Aloha everyone, I'm Malika Dudley and we are at the National Weather Service headquarters here with Chris Brenchley. We wanted to talk about the record heat days because this is something that has been on everyone's mind. Everyone feels it, you know, when we get those hot days. August was ridiculous. And I want to say in part because we had all those systems coming through and doing some stuff to our weather. So we want you to explain to us, why has this been occurring?
Well, it's been a few reasons, but like you mentioned, those systems coming in have brought not only the warm air, but also the moisture. The humidity came up so much. When we have hot temperatures and high humidities, it actually feels a lot hotter than the temperature says, and we call that the heat index. And those heat index readings have been up into the triple digits a lot of the days. So, it doesn't feel like maybe 90, 92. It actually feels more like 100 to 102 some of those afternoons.
Let's talk about the fact that, we will get a record event, report, and, we'll post it right on Maui Now or Big Island Now. And it was 93 degrees to get today in Kahului. It was 89 degrees today in Hilo. And people are like, but wait a second, I was in Kihei and it was 100 degrees or whatever it is. Why didn't we break a record there? So why don't we talk a little bit about, all of our data collection points are at the airports.
Right. Yeah, so Hawaii, with its varied terrain, has a lot of microclimates. So the temperatures vary from spot to spot so much. We use Hilo, we use Kahului. They have a long period of record. They've been taking temperature records since the early 1900s. So we have all this data that we can draw on and really make conclusions on, was this really the hottest it's been for a long time? So we have to use those points that we have the data from, and realizing that, you're going to have different temperatures depending on where you are. We know that there are certain areas that are hotter than Hilo and Kahului, and there's certain areas that are cooler.
So if you do have a reading that's hotter in your area than the record, it's possible that you also broke a record there.
Yeah, and a lot of times you can say, well, if Kahului or Hilo broke a record, then Kihei or somewhere else also broke a record, because at least you're relative to what you've been in the past. So all these locations have a relativity to each other, so you can kind of assume, I guess.
All right. Also, you're in your car and your car thermometer tells you it's, 3-digit heat. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, car thermometers, they may have varying accuracy for one, but the other thing, it's very difficult to get a real official kind of temperature from a car. You're on a hot pavement. You're in a parking lot parked for a couple of hours. You come out and turn on the car and it says 105 degrees. Right. It might be 105 under that car hood that's been sitting in the parking lot. But typically, once, if you've been driving around for a couple of hours, you'll see the temperature will get more regulated. Don't take that as an official temperature, though.
Right. So if you want an official temperature, you come to us, and this guy, he is going to give us some of the data that has been collected. Is this for August?
For all the summer.
Great.
Most of the hot temperatures, the record high temperatures that we measured, especially in Hilo, was in August and even into the first part of September.
What are some of those numbers? Can you share that with us?
Sure. Well, for Hilo, first of all, since June, Hilo has broken 35 high temperature records since June through September, and tied their all-time hottest ever measured in recorded history at 93 degrees this year. On top of that, humidity levels in Hilo have been very high, so they've had stifling heat indexes that have been in the triple digits. We don't keep records of that, but you can bet that it's about as high as heat indexes they've had.
Can you tell us a little bit about what may be causing some of this? I mean, I know global warming comes up, El Nino comes up, so what are some of the reasons?
The main reason that we're looking at least specifically for Hawaii this year, is the warm ocean temperatures. El Nino has a factor in that it's bringing more activity, tropical cyclone activity, which brings more humidity. But in addition to that, we've had this warm ocean water all over the Pacific, not just along the equator this year. And so we've been measuring temperatures in the water around Hawaii of about 85, even 86 in some cases, degrees Fahrenheit. Typically it's 78 or to 80 degrees. So we're running well above normal with the water temperatures, and that makes our air temperatures also above normal.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else? I mean, are we going to have more of this?
The outlook is for above normal temperatures, and that's because the ocean temperatures remain above normal. It's going to have to take a little while for that ocean water to cool down. So we'll remain above normal through fall. Hopefully by winter we see at least more dry air coming in.
So at least it doesn't feel as sticky and muggy.
Yeah. I think once we get rid of the humidity, maybe get a little more trade winds, it'll feel better. It'll still be above normal, though, it looks like.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Chris. From the National Weather Service headquarters, I am Malika Dudley for Big Island Now and Maui Now. Ahui ho.